So hello and welcome back to the 2021 Northern Talent Cup, one of the newest paths on the road to MotoGP, created with the goal of giving riders from northern and central European countries a new opportunity on the road to MotoGP. We race on identical KTMs here on some of Europe's most spectacular racetracks, including this one here at the Sachsenring this weekend on motorcycle racing's biggest stage alongside MotoGP. And now we're on to race 2 of round 3, and it's been a spectacular season so far, not least of all for the number 59 of Jakub Górecki, as the Czech rider continues to pull away in the standings. And yesterday was another masterclass, this time in the dry, as he took his 4th win in a row. Can he do it again today? We're about to find out. So hallo und herzlich willkommen back to the Sachsenring here in Germany. As you can see on your screens, a little bit different weather to yesterday for race 1, but we're back for race 2 of round 3 in the 2021 NTC, and we've had a few spots of rain, we've got some clouds, but we're ready to see once again what this unique venue will have in store on take 2. I'm Fran Wild, and alongside me, as he was yesterday, is Elliot York. Welcome back, Elliot. Are you ready for another one here today at the Sachsenring?
Absolutely ready, yeah, Fran. Hello, everybody watching at home. Yes, the clouds have rolled in. They've been rolled in now for, what, 2-3 hours, including the MotoGP race, Moto2 race,
grayer.
Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup race. It's threatened to rain, but so far, thankfully, it's held off. So if it could just hold off for half an hour, 40 minutes more, that would be fantastic.
Do you think those thoughts are shared by this man?
Well, he displayed awesome race pace in the dry. Yes, he has also displayed awesome race pace in the wet weather conditions. So, to be fair to Górecki, I think no matter what, rain or shine, he's going to be confident of maybe taking his 5th victory in a row. Yeah,
and certainly confident, I'm sure, of fighting for it again. But yeah, we'll get onto this man in a second. Laurence Luciano, great season for him as well, as you can see, 2nd in the standings. But Jakub Górecki at the top of the table. It's now a fairly good gap. He's got, I think it's 33 points for the Czech rider in hand, which is well more than a race win. But I think the biggest question before we went racing yesterday for race 1 of this 3rd round of the year was, will he be able to stay at the front and dominate as he did in the wet when we have a drier race? And he didn't dominate the entirety of yesterday's showdown, but he was at the front throughout, looking super, super confident. And then it was a bit of a tactical masterclass when he pulled the pin on that final lap and managed to keep himself a little bit ahead of those on the chase and take another one. So, I don't know, pressure's on a little bit more maybe than ever. Now we've seen him do it in the wet and the dry, but then pressure off in some ways with that huge gap at the top. But let's move on then to Luciano, the man on the chase. A little bit further off yesterday. It wasn't 2nd place, it was 3rd for him, but I'm sure he'll be happy with another podium at least.
Yeah, a podium is a good result no matter what class you're racing in, especially at this level, the Northern Talent Cup, the beginning of the road to MotoGP. You can see the sticker there on the leathers. Yeah, Luciano, if he gets podiums, he's going to be in with a shout no matter what. Górecki, yes, he has won 4 in a row and he is pulling clear in the title chase, but Laurence Luciano just needs to keep on getting podiums, as the other riders, just to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, I think most definitely. I think we did see a little bit, in my opinion anyway, yesterday. When it was Luciano, you seemed to see Górecki like maybe just give it a little bit more gas. But yeah, those two are the key players at the moment. And then we should talk about Rossi Moore as well, who's on the front row. We've already passed him by on the graphics, and we will come back to this man too. But Moore, after incredible pace in pre-season, then in the wet had a bit of a nightmare. Certainly first time out in Le Mans from pole, made it just like through the chicane and then straight on the floor. Wasn't really sure why. Real shame to see that first time out after such a display from the Hungarian. But I think he especially looked kind of the guy who seemed to have the similar level to Górecki, the battle at the front aside, and I think it'd be interesting now to see what he does tactically, and with a little bit more confidence to boost him back after those difficult couple of rounds.
Yeah, it was a really good race yesterday from Rossi Moore, the number 92, it was a good race from the top 5, all split by 0.9 seconds over the line. So really, really good encounter. If you haven't watched it already, do catch up on it, because these are some of the stars of the future. Hopefully on the Grand Prix scene. But yes, it was a really, really good race, especially from Rossi Moore, a rookie in the class, of course, to finish 0.4 seconds behind Goretzky, who's been super impressive, as we've mentioned. Yeah, a really, really classy ride.
Yeah, most definitely. And it was Kaz Beekmans, the Dutchman, who was 4th, I think, yesterday over the line. A really solid ride from him. Right at the front as well. He's had some solid results before, but with a little bit of a bigger gap. So that was a really good ride from him. And then 5th place, Jacopo Hosчuk, that we saw on our screens a few minutes ago, the number 6, the Romanian. I was a little bit surprised that he was the man that lost out in that battle. He's got really good podium experience. He's still looking for that first NTC win, but it was good to see him back at the front as well after a bit of a roller coaster start to the season for him. And then we had quite an interesting duel for 6th as well. And I think in the end, that was Kevin Farkas who came out on top in that one. So great stuff from him, as you can see, a little bit further down the grid, but managed to move through and just defeat Kitzbichler for the best of the rest. So, yeah, I think we're going to be in for another great race today, if the weather holds, as we hope it will. At least one thing is, it's still very, very hot out here. So, you know, it's not like when in some places a few drops of rain really immediately is making its presence felt. Hopefully, the track will stay pretty dry, even if we do get the odd tinkle.
Yeah, I think we got the odd tinkle in MotoGP, didn't we?
We did indeed. And the man who won was like, I thought I'll push more. We won't spoiler who it was, although I'm sure you've seen if you use any form of social media.
Yes. I think we're going to get a rundown of the grid, aren't we, Fran?
We are indeed. So, hopefully we will. We know already, though, it is Goretzky then that will be on pole. You can see that red bike on the right of the screen in the background. He, yeah, just great pace in the drying qualifying and on race day as well. There we go. So we've got 30 seconds, they're being told, to race start. But Goretzky getting his gloves ready, getting ready to launch from pole again. And then you've got alongside him Luciano, 2nd in the standings as well. Then Moore, Beekmans, Hosчuk, so the top 5 from yesterday, slightly different order. Then Vincher, Kotzerek, Kitzbichler and Herrlich, all having a really good weekend here at the Sachsenring. Kotzerek will be the one of those really looking to make a step forward here, I think. And then Willemsen, Varga, Molik, Schneider, Veneman, Farkas, Bussenkool, Bartuka and Röhrig to do it full Deutsch. So, and then I think, again, like we had yesterday at the back, we will have, yeah, there we go. So, Kuipers, Olofsson, Koenen, Brandl, Gunderman and Tsuda. And then Famara as well at the back of the grid. A bit of a heartbreaker for the Swiss rookie after he was found to be underweight after qualifying. So unfortunately, not just for yesterday's race 1 that he was sent to start from the back, also in race 2. And he had made some pretty good progress and then sadly crashed out. So see what he can do today. Just, I think, a bit more calm needed when you find yourself in that situation. You can see him there, I think, heading around the outside or trying to, maybe not, just slotting it back in. But a very distinctive Swiss flag there. And interesting, on the warm-up lap yesterday, we saw Moore and Goretzky give it some gas, didn't we? Today, a little bit more of a shuffle.
Yeah, but going back to Famara, yeah, I think hopefully today he can get race distance under his belt. At this level, it's all about learning your trades on motorcycles in racing, on Grand Prix tracks. So yeah, hopefully he can get race distance under his belt, pick his way through some of the guys in front and see where he finishes. Yeah, he was unlucky yesterday to not finish the race. So hopefully for Famara's sake, a better day at the office on Sunday as we get a look at the air temperature, 26 degrees, nice and warm, 3 miles per hour wind, that's perfect. Not going to affect these riders, especially down that steep hill from turn 11 into turn 12, which we saw plenty of overtaking moves yesterday, didn't we?
We most definitely did, yeah. It was a real good showdown into there. I think we've got Stefan Zuda there as well on the back row, so he'll be one to look for. He's a little bit out of position coming forward, so but yeah, as you said, the waterfall really was a spectacular yesterday in the NTC. Or will it prove so again today? I don't have any doubts, really. I think we're in for another cracker. Let's see how we go as we're all getting ready then for lights out for race 2.
Yeah, excited for this one to get underway. I'm sure you're right, Fran. We are definitely going to see action down the hill into the turn 12 as the pole sitter revs his engine. Saxon curve. Yes, green flag waves, we're ready to go.
We are ready to go. So then the lights will come on here for race 2, and they're going to go out. And who's got the best start today then? Looks like another good job from Gorecki from pole position. The Czech rider pretty unflappable, but gaining ground from Rossi Moore on the inside there, making his way through into second place then. 1 place gained for the Hungarian already, and Luciano losing out back into 4th. But Gorecki, like I said, just unflappable under pressure. We've got someone going way wide there, slotting back in, no harm done. Not too many dramas though around there, and you can see Moore and Gorecki already with a little bit of daylight.
Yeah, perfect start then for your pole sitter and everybody safely around the first sector. Not sure who was that running wide, but thankfully they stayed on track. But yeah, the number 59 there of Gorecki, I think that's what we call the perfect getaway, Fran, into the whole shot from pole position. But he has got the number 92 of Rossi Moore right up behind him. Yeah,
right up behind him. And you can see it's Vinci there, the number 12, who made a really, really good start as well. And he's just kind of getting in the way a little bit of those guys who fought for the podium yesterday, but great job from him to move up so early on. And you can see he's still with them there, but Luciano has retaken 3rd, and I'm sure the Belgian will be keen to cut down that gap. And already you can see they're concertinaing again, and Moore goes through then to take the race lead. Bit of a carbon copy of some of the moves we saw yesterday between these two, and it's the Hungarian who leads then, and probably will do so over the line at the end of lap 1.
Yeah, literally a copy and paste from yesterday, wasn't it, Fran? We said turn 12 would be the place where most of the action happens, and so it happens on turn 1. Rossi Moore getting the better of Gorecki on lap 1, heading on to lap 2 as we come into turn 1, and I think it's the number 81. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so Luciano's a bit wide though, a little bit wide. I think, yeah, Moore then straight back into the race lead. So the Belgian a little bit over optimistic there and didn't quite get it stopped as he would have liked. But nice to see already some good moves. You see Vinci there, the number 12, going a little bit wide there, and Cas Beekman's settling in just ahead of him. But good shuffle then already at the end of lap 1 after we'd seen that slight breakaway for the top 2 initially. And Moore now seems to have really got the hammer down. And Gorecki then shuffled back to 4th after that turn 1-2 little 1-2.
Yeah, it didn't phase him yesterday, did it? Because we saw him drop back to 5th, especially in the closing stages. But he was able to keep his cool and pick his way through the fight, so I'm sure he's going to try and do that again. But yeah, the pole sitter was leading on lap 1. Now he's down to 4th place, so the likes of Rossi Moore, Luciano, Vinci, Moish have come out fighting, and it's great to see.
Yeah, and Kitzbichler too there, the number 94 of the Austrian. Good stuff from him to really be in this battle with those guys at the moment. And Gorecki though says no thank you, I think I'll have that back. But Kitzbichler trying to hang it around the outside. Let's see how this will shuffle out. But it's Luciano then in the lead now. Rossi Moore looking a little bit impatient about that. And Hostruck again, solid start from the Romanian, right up in the battle at the early stages. And I'm sure he'll be wanting to get a little bit of revenge for that 5th place that he took home yesterday.
Yeah, Kitzbichler crossed the line in 8th place. He just took the line there in 4th place and set the fastest lap of the race. So yeah, a cracking lap for Kitzbichler, who's up into 4th as we dive down into turn 1 again. There it is, confirmation of the fastest lap, 1:32.898 from that man on your screen, the number 94 Kitzbichler.
Yeah, good stuff from the Austrian then. This is definitely the best we've seen of him, and he's had some solid rides and he's been making some good progress, which is part of what this is all about, is also to show that you're learning, making that progress, moving through the field, and the Austrian definitely doing that at the moment. Even if it doesn't quite stay with him the whole race long, it's great to get some experience in this battle at the front, and sadly there won't be any today for this man there, Noel Willemsen. Obviously crashed out of another home round for the German, but rider up and okay quite obviously, so that is good to see. Looks like then we've got Moore back at the front and Hostruck now, so that's a bit of an interesting shuffle once again. But at the moment then, Gorecki still with them, but hasn't made any aggressive moves back to take that race lead at the moment. Probably quite aware that his tactics yesterday worked incredibly well.
Yeah, exactly right, Fran. Like we said, he did drop back a few times, but like he's just doing now. He clawed his way back with the field very, not easily because it's never easy to do so, but calmly, coolly, and yeah, makes it look easy is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, most definitely. I love there as well. We went to the onboard, it said 4th because he had been so recently, and then just switches to 2. So great stuff then from the Czech rider. This time around looks like he's the fastest man in the lead group, and I think he's going to take the lead down here. He was super strong on the brakes yesterday. Seems to go in a little bit wider, but nicely done, keeping it stopped and not too much drama there. So he's back in the race lead. I take it all back. Obviously the tactic is just push from the front. But great stuff from him. Rossi Moore once again, Hosjuk, Luciano, our usual suspects, and another shout out for Kitzbichler there, still in 5th place, doing a great job, is the Austrian, and likewise Kaz Beekman's the Dutchman in 6th. Good stuff. And Farkas once again must have had a bit more pace than it seemed in qualifying, and kind of knew that, because yesterday he impressed, and today he's made some really big progress as well. I think he was 15th on the grid, was he not, Kevin Farkas, Rossi Moore's teammate? So good stuff from him to get back up. So here we are then. You can see the standings as well. It's a really expensive day at the office for the rest if Gorecki does keep winning, but he is still in that lead and still with that yellow shadow of Rossi Moore. Yeah,
Luciano knows the situation. He'll look to the championship standings after yesterday finishing 3rd, with Gorecki finishing 1st again, and he'll know that he needs to beat Gorecki. They all know they need to beat Gorecki, but first and foremost they need to just try and race as great as possible, get on the podium, potentially try and win if they can, but like you said, Fran, it's all just a learning curve. They're learning their trade on a Grand Prix circuit, and the opening handful of laps have been excellent, especially for Gorecki, who's kept the lead. But look at this, we've got 3 riders going all the way to the right hand side of the track, and the rest of them sticking to the normal race now. The left is Rossi Moore, takes the lead into turn 1. New best race lap there for Gorecki.
Yeah, he has. So the Hungarian then back in front, just got the job done nicely there. I did think just round, was it the final corner or just before, I thought he was going to have a cheeky blast through into the lead there, but thought better of it. I don't think the gap was big enough for an entire rider and machine, so good decision, I think. But he is back in the lead then. These two looking I don't know, there's just something about the way their kind of body language, looking very much out to do some serious business today. And you can see there's a little bit of a gap that the two have got, but if they keep dueling like this, that will come down incredibly quickly.
Yeah, so from from Rossi Moore now, sorry, in 1st place, down to 7th place Farkas is 1.6 seconds. Farkas is 0.6, or just under 0.6 seconds off the back of the lead group. I think he'll just come into shot. No, not quite, but you'll see him down the hill, man, in 7th place as we do plunge down the hill. And I think Gorecki might have a look at the inside, as he always does. Yes, he does.
That was close side by side there. Great stuff in the NTC. But the Czech rider then no way through at the moment. And it always looks like that really, really wide line. It looks like they're going to head over onto that green sometimes, but they don't. All cleanly done at the moment. And the Hungarian retains the lead then as we cross the line for another lap. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Gorecki attack once again at turn 1. What are we going to see this time around? No, pretty similar line there rather than the split group we had last time around. And he does indeed. Straight back through is the number 59. It looks like he might have gone a little bit wide though, although we've seen him make that work before, yet not this time. So actually 2nd place still for the number 59.
Yeah, just a little bit too late on the brakes though, where wasn't he, Gorecki? Like you say, Fran, he displayed yesterday supreme quality on the brake, like not a class above, but you could tell that's really, really a strong part of this game.
Very confident, yes, super confident.
And he was displaying it there, but just ran wide, but not lost too much time, but has conceded the race lead again to Rossi Moore.
He has. So yeah, we saw it a couple of times in race 1 where he did go a bit wide, but then managed to slot in ahead. So yeah, not quite making it work that time. Great slow-mo there. You can see those two at some point look pretty much there. It looks like there's one machine rather than two. And a bit wider there from Hosjuk and Kitzbichler. Another shout out for Kitzbichler, who's still with this lead group. Great stuff from him. And then you can see the number 28 of Kevin Farkas in the background there as well. Not too far off at all. But we have movement, and we have the number 6 then taking the lead. Hosjuk makes his first move to lead this race here in round 3. But I'm not sure how long it's going to last yet. Rossi Moore immediately looked like he was lining that up. So the Hungarian keen to get back to the front. But I think at turn 1 again, there'll likely be another shuffle.
Absolutely, yeah. The slipstream down the straight isn't as highlighted as it is on other tracks, but the straight is 0.7 kilometres long enough for these riders to get a slipstream, and it's come into play there. It's the number 81 of Luciano who takes the lead from the number 59 of Goretzky slotting in second place. Goretzky's always there, isn't he, Fran?
He is indeed. But yeah, so we saw Luciano try that a little while ago and overcook it slightly, but that time the Belgian got the job done into the race lead. And after he had looked like he was one of those just losing touch very, very slightly, so really good stuff from the number 81 back in the mix and leading the way once again. And with Goretzky and Moore there as ever, Hostruck still there, but great job from Kitzbühel, Farkas and Beekmans to all still be with these leading guys at the moment.
Yeah, this is the fight for the victory now. Stefan Zuda has moved up to 8th place and he's 5 seconds off the back of this group.
He started penultimate as well.
Yeah, cracking job.
Yeah, really, really good job from him. He was very much out of position on the grid with that getting sent there, so great to see he's managed to stay nice and calm and make some good progress there. And Famara as well now is on to score points in that battle there. You can see the number 48 in 14th on the graphic on the side of your screen, so that's some good stuff as well. 13th now, there you go. Great stuff from him. Martin Vincher just lost out a little bit now, the number 12, after that really fast start, just faded into that fight for the points rather than the top sort of 5, 6, 7. But nice start from him though, and good job so far. Here we go then. I think we've officially got a group of, how many is that? I can't count. 7.
7, yeah.
So we've definitely, I think, got some of these guys in for a longer haul than they've previously put on display in the NTC, so that's good. And there you can see the aforementioned Stepan Zuda there. So great job from him. He's now made it to the front of this group, all the way from, like we said, penultimate on the grid. 24th to 8th. Not a bad job. Not a bad job. And Jonas Kutzerek just behind him, who I'm sure will be keen to try and stay with him and leave those guys that are just on their tail behind after, yeah, podiums from him in the wet. Great job. But here, just a bit of a tougher weekend so far for the Czech rider in the dry.
Yeah, outstanding job so far from Zuda, who set his fastest lap of the race on the last lap, and the gap is now down to 4.7 seconds. So still a large gap to bridge. You can see it ticking there. It's gone back up to 5 seconds. So yeah, with 10.5 laps to go, it looks like an uphill task, but nevertheless a cracking ride from the number 73 as we return to the lead battle. We're looking back at the number 81 of Luciano. He is chasing Goretzky down the hill. Is he going to go to the inside? I think the answer is yes.
I think maybe 3 of them are going to try it. Great onboard shot there. But yeah, so the Belgian then back in the race lead. Goretzky had obviously taken that. You can see the number 1 from the onboard, but just loses out there. So we've got Luciano then, and then Kitzbühel, I think, up into 2nd place. Really great ride from the Austrian. And he'll tuck in now, and we'll see if then Luciano can hold on as we head back down for the turn 1 shuffle. This time we really got another split in lines, you could see, deciding which way you're going to go. And is Kitzbühel going to attack for the lead? Not quite. Slots back into 2nd, and Luciano again, nice and smooth on the brakes there and keeping it on the racing line rather than that little bit of a wide excursion he had earlier. Well, that was a nice little move there as well, slotting in. Who was that?
Not sure, didn't quite see, but yeah, it's all nice and smooth so far. No drama as of yet. Hopefully it stays that way with just under 10 laps to go. But yeah, you mentioned Kitzbühel, Fran. He finished 7th yesterday, but 14.5 seconds off the race win. So this is a really
step,
good improvement. He's obviously done his homework overnight. And yeah, a cracking ride so far.
Yeah, really good stuff from him, and this man as well, the number 28 of Kevin Farkas, to really make his presence felt in this fight for the podium, which it is at the moment, and with his teammate as well. Although they're pretty different liveries, it is the Farium Next Generation Riders team. So great stuff from those two guys. And Kitzbühel then, looking like he's going to attack for the lead now. This is really great stuff from the Austrian.
I think he's going to, well, I thought he was, but he just dived out the way of the slipstream as Goretzky then takes back 2nd place.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's not enough room around there, lads. But yeah, just a bit of a poke there, but nothing too dramatic. Kitzbühel though shuffled back down to 3rd place. But yeah, these guys still pretty evenly matched at the moment, and of course all this chopping and changing will help those who maybe don't quite have the pace of Goretzky to just stay with this group at the moment.
Yeah, we see it in Moto3 a lot, don't we? People who don't necessarily have quite the pace as maybe the fastest guys on track are able to keep track, as we see 2 of the riders were right. I think the first one was Goretzky. Didn't quite catch who the second one was.
I think it was Goretzky and Luciano possibly. But yeah, so then a bit of a rare fluff there from the from the standings leader, but no harm done and slots back in. But yeah, that's not really been his calling card at all through there. He's been pretty solid. Seen just maybe one running wide a little bit too much, but nothing too extreme. So maybe he's not completely imperious. I'm sure that'll give his rivals some hope to see, yeah, at least the odd moment for the Czech rider, given that he is 4 in a row winner at the moment as we begin this race. Luciano then back in the race lead. Another solid job from the Belgian. He really doesn't seem like he cracks under pressure at all. And we have Rossi Moore in third, then Kitzbichler. Then there's that little tiny bit of a gap back to Kevin Farkas, but I'm sure that will come down again if there's any more switching and changing, which of course there will be as Moore takes 2 and 1.
Yeah, just on cue there, Fran. Moore takes the he's roaring on. Moore takes the lead into turn 12 ahead of Goretzky, but yeah, the gap is now closed like we thought it would. Slipstream coming into effect down the hill as we head on to 8 laps to go. This is one of the most technical tracks probably on the Grand Prix calendar, if not the whole world. It's very tight, technical, twisty, and turn 1 we've seen even the best riders today all the way into the MotoGP class running wide.
Yeah, we have.
It's understandable that these guys are also doing it.
Luciano doing that as well there. And Kitzbichler then just slices straight through for the lead. Down the inside, the Austrian, a little bit deep there, but keeps the lead. And yeah, it's Rossi Moore then now on the chase against an opponent he's not raced too much, not only because Moore is a rookie here, but also because Kitzbichler not normally in the race lead or in this fight for the podium. And we keep highlighting it because it's really great to see a few newer names here at the front in the NTC. So yeah, it might be a bit more of a preview of their dry weather pace throughout the season than we've seen so far at Le Mans and Oschersleben. But it is then Moore back into the lead as he takes over from Kitzbichler. So yeah, Moore again will be a confidence fueling ride, I think, after the up and down season he had at the start. So good stuff from them, but we're still 7 riders, is it? Did we count that correctly before?
That was Luciano taking a look behind down in the middle of the hill and just sees a face full of 3 riders. So I think he lost a bit of time there doing that, Luciano, but now he knows that this is a
Most definitely.
I think you're right. It's a 7-rider battle. And
that's Jordan Bartica then. He was just in the graphics, just noticed his name went down there, so obviously had a bit of a run off. So the Swiss rider, though, all okay and back on track. And all okay and back on track is Goretzky's plan to win this race. He's back in the lead here, but what will happen at turn 1? Once again, we're going to see a shuffle. Moore goes to the inside again, though. Doesn't push the issue too much, and Goretzky wide round there, but then keeps it nice and steady round. Yeah, no, I think that's Lucia. Oh no, it's not. I stand corrected. Lovely from the Austrian then into second. I feel like Moore was caught napping a little bit there, concentrating on Goretzky cutting back into the lead, and thank you very much, I'll have that, says the number 94.
Yeah, he definitely left the door open, didn't he? Trying to cut back, as we saw Goretzky take his natural line of a wide sweeping one into turn 1. Moore thought, oh, I could get him here, but Kitzbichler had other ideas. Moore left the door open, and through went Kitzbichler into second place. But they've got to keep tabs on number 59, race leader Goretzky, because we saw on the last lap yesterday that when he wants to, he can really try and pull the pin if no one can upset him.
Oh, wow. Just standing up Kitzbichler there. I'm sure he didn't expect to move there. But Rossi Moore then through into second. I think quite probably thinking about exactly what you just said, that if you do leave Goretzky in the race lead for too long and he realises that maybe it's one of those guys who's not normally fighting for the podium, who is just on his tail, may choose to pull that pin a little earlier, if of course he does have that amount in his pocket, as he showed he did yesterday at the end of the race. But it's the number 92 then back on the chase. It's a very familiar story here this weekend at the Sachsenring, isn't it, these two? And you can see there's a bit of daylight there, and we're 3 abreast, not even anywhere near the braking zone yet.
Well, that was tight there coming down the start finish rate with 6 laps to go, but there he is, Rossi Moore at the inside. Goretzky takes that wide line. I think he's a little bit too wide there. Yes, he is.
That one's definitely overcooked.
That's 3 times now Goretzky's just gone in a little bit too hot into turn 1, and Moore was right there to pounce when he needed to be. So Moore again takes the race lead from Goretzky. Now it's Luciano in third. He can see his main title rival just up the road from him. And with 5.5 laps to go, let's say, it's getting towards crunch time for him.
It is most definitely. So yeah, I obviously a bit of a commentator's curse there, saying, well, you know, Goretzky's just so solid. It's rare to see that that, you know, sort of little mistake. Nothing too bad. Obviously, he's gathered it up pretty well, and he's back to ready to attack to take the lead back. But yeah, interesting one. Not what we saw yesterday when he had like the odd moment, but nothing as kind of compounded as we've seen today. At the moment that you can see there, that gap is going up.
Yeah.
Is this a break? Will it remain a break? I think here will be a fairly interesting place to look at that gap once we're in the next braking zone if Luciano can't start making up that ground.
Yeah, the next couple of laps are now crucial, I feel, because the top two have just broken clear a little bit. If they box clever, if they don't trip each other over too much, they could break Luciano in third place. 0.7 seconds there, you can see on your screen, is the gap. But Luciano, I think, strung a nice last sector together there, and he is in the slipstream of Goretzky.
Look at that, that's great. Very, very different decisions made there for those two guys. But I think it's more possibly going to hold on this time because, yeah, there you see then this time he's taken that inside line into turn 2, and then it all got a little bit hairy back there, didn't it?
It was Farkas out to sea.
Yeah, a bit of a moment there. Yeah, he's moved down to 6th there then, but bit wily there through turn 1. Like, I don't really want you to come straight back through this time, so no. But these two absolutely glued together, and Luciano is indeed back on the scene.
Yeah, great stuff from Luciano in the last half a lap or so, just to claw his way back up to the lead too. And yeah, Rossi Moore boxing clever so far, but Goretzky is going to have a look at the inside. Not quite, thinks better of it down into the lowest part of the track, and then they'll start the climb up to the highest point before dropping back down the spectacular waterfall. There's 4.5 laps to go. The top three just got a slight advantage. Oh, I thought Goretzky was going to go up the inside there.
Brave! Yeah, great stuff then. He really looks keen to move through, and he is going to make a move here, I think. But Luciano, though, yeah, he's going to go through as well. So very much back in a group now after it looked like those two maybe had started to make a bit of a breakaway. I think it was up to 7/8 tenths, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But Goretzky then solid back into the race lead, and yeah, we're pretty much as you were from yesterday. There you go. I was just going to mention that a minute ago. Track limits warning for Stefan Zuda, who's done that heroic ride from the back into 8th place just behind these guys. So they'll need to be careful of that, especially as we get onto the last laps. Kitzbichler, that inside line, he's made it work before. Yep, nice move from the Austrian then, but Goretzky, Luciano staying ahead of the game at the moment.
Awesome lap from Kitzbichler with 5 laps to go. Absolutely awesome. It looked like the top 3 were just breaking clear, but he got his head down, set the fastest after the race, and now he's in 3rd. Rossi Moore's been demoted to 4th with the number 6 of Hoschoik also tagged onto the back of them, and it's Beekmans and Farkas just cast adrift for now, but as we've seen, that can all change in about half a lap.
Yeah, it can, especially because if they do manage to tuck into the slipstream, which, like we said, not as vital here, but can make a bit of a difference, and they're going sort of 3-4 wide ahead of them. That's a much bigger hole in the air for them to gain a little bit more. But at the moment, it's definitely pedal to the metal at the front for this group of 5. And yeah, Beekmans and Farkas not quite able to go with them.
Here we go then, on board with you, race leader Goretzky as the slipstream comes into effect. The number 81 of Luciano goes up the inside. Rossi Moore also is going up the inside. I think Goretzky's going from P1 to P3 down at turn 11.
Yeah, I was going to say, please switch back to the wider shot. It looked like that was going to be a bit of a shuffle, but great on board. But it's great to see how it shuffles out as well when you've seen the bike just blitz past the camera.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, good stuff then. We've got Rossi Moore, I'm going to say back in the lead, but oh, that's close. We did see a bit of elbows out from Luciano yesterday as well.
I forgot about that.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the number 92 though do, yeah, oh, as well, pretty wide from Luciano, but you can see Rossi Moore then just gonna slam it through into the lead once again. Just seems very comfortable to lead the race, does the Hungarian, and it's a really mature ride from him. Let's not forget, he is a rookie, so really good stuff from him. And Luciano then looking a little bit wild here.
He certainly is, and as we said a lap ago, it can all change in half a lap. Well,
yeah, just
it's changed in 1 lap.
Slightly wider lines, obviously through turn 1. Just lost out there, but Kitzbichler though really still in the mix here. Great job from him.
Yeah, really good job from Kitzbichler. He sees an opportunity at turn 1, as we have. Can't quite see who that is.
It's Matthias Mollick. Okay, So, bad luck for him. Obviously, rider completely okay there. Just waiting for the marshals, like, don't drop my bike, please. So, yeah, it says technical problem then, so it's not a crash for the Polish rider either. So, shame for him, but good to see he's okay at least. And then we have a completely different looking race at the front after that. It's Hoszczuk then striking to take over, and Moore still in second, I think. Is he going to respond straight away? He does. He does indeed, so definitely wants to be first. Here, of course, as well, the start-finish line is a little bit earlier, so if you're leading out of that final corner, your kind of jobs are good and pretty much. But look at this.
Here we go.
The whole group wide. Who is going to come out on top now?
I think it could be Farkas who goes into the lead at turn 1. No, it's not. He goes into second though, although Rossi Moore's got the inside line for turn 3. Yes, turn 2, sorry. Yes,
I think Gorecki did his classic there. Nicely done from the Czech rider. Luciano, there's not much room there. And you can see then Hoszczuk, he is fighting back there to take back over in 5th, but he went from 1st to 5th in almost no time at all. So a bit of a rough ride for the Romanian there at the front. But Gorecki and Moore then, here we go again. And Farkas though really made some it looked like him and Beekmans are maybe out of this one a little bit, but they've done a great job to get back in this group, and the number 28 at the moment, then the man in 3rd.
Yeah, this is crucial now for Luciano. He can see Gorecki in the lead of the race. There's 1.5 laps to go. Luciano's in 6th place. This is not good for his title aspirations. Moved up to 5th now. But yeah, this is a crucial lap and a quarter left here in the Northern Talent Cup Race 2 at the Sachsenring as we plunge down the hill. 5 riders abreast behind. Rossi Moore up the inside of Gorecki into turn 12. He makes it stick, I think. Just pans out a picture.
I think he did. I think he did. Yeah, you can see the yellow there just ahead. And here we go then around the final corner, and it's still the Hungarian in the lead. And then we'll be into turn 1 for our final turn 1 shuffle of this race. And Moore again staying really far over on that side of the track, and Farkas going with him. How is this going to go down on the brakes? It's 1 versus 1 for the lead, I think. Gorecki's going to take that line, but Moore again a little bit wily to it and manages to close that door nicely there at least, and sweeps back across. Keeps the lead then. It's as you were in the front 2 at least, and I think it's still Farkas in 3rd. Yeah, great job from him. Oh, we see that little bobble for Hoszczuk there.
Bit of a moment for Hoszczuk. It cost him a little bit of time, but he keeps place. Luciano is still down in 5th place. I think it could be 6th now. No, it's 5th place, I think. So this is a crucial last lap coming up for Luciano as Rossi Moore leads it, coming down the hill toward the bottom end of the circuit. The round turn 7, coming up is turn 8. Will Gorecki take a chance into turn 8? No, he won't. He leaves it, but something's coming from. I can feel it.
I think so. I think Moore has gone for the Gorecki playbook here and decided, like, right, I'm going to hit the front at the start of the final lap, and I'm just going to push. Unfortunately, it looks like Gorecki has the pace enough to go with him. So I think down here we might see a move. Is the Czech rider going to do it?
I think
he's going to have to. He is. He's going through for the lead then. Has he got it? Yeah, nicely done. Super well controlled. But Moore's looking oh, it's so close. Moore's looking to take him back. I think he's going to do it unless he goes too wide through here. Is he going to shut that door and keep it pinned to the line? I think he is. Yeah, it's Rossi Moore then. His first ever Northern Talent Cup win. And the winning streak of Gorecki comes to an end, but only just. I think it's half a tenth. Half a tenth between those two. And amazing stuff from the Hungarian. Great race. But great race once again from Gorecki. That was an amazing duel to watch there. They were looking like they should be the guys in the duel for the win there. Looked like they just had a bit of an edge. And then finally, Rossi Moore, after that roller coaster start to 2021. Yeah, that deserves that wheelie. Fair play. Great win. He's absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Really great move from him. He looked like, I don't know, I was a little bit worried there. It really was... Here we go then, here's the replay. You can see those guys really having a battle behind for 3rd as well. But Gorecki heading through. Really nicely done from the number 59. and he does keep it nice and smooth as well, straight back on the line. And then Moore just says, so close to contact, so close to contact. But Moore was not for giving up that win today. And a real stunner there from the number 92 to take, like we said, his first Northern Talent Cup win. And look, that's what half a tenth looks like after 18 laps of the Sachsenring. And Hostruck, I'm sure, will be a lot happier today with a third place and to be back on the podium. And as well, after he got a little bit beaten up yesterday, to have elbows out and risen to the top of that what became their battle for third.
Yeah, P5 and a P3 for Hostruck is a good weekend at the office. A good weekend at the office for that man, the number 59. He keeps his lead in the championship standings. He extends it.
He does quite a lot
Luciano,
as well.
who finished fifth in the end. So not great for Luciano in terms of results. Still a fantastic ride. He was in the battle. 0.9 seconds covering the top 7, so it's even closer than yesterday. The top 7 really treated us to a fantastic race.
They did indeed. So yeah, now Rossi Moore in third after that win in the standings. So that's some good points for the Hungarian to kind of get his cup challenge back on track a little bit. But yeah, Hostruck as well, gaining some ground. But Luciano, he remains second. But yeah, he won't have been too happy, I don't think, with 5th place after that fight. But we must give a shout out as well to Kevin Farkas, the number 28 in 4th place. That's his best. Really great job throughout that race. And Kit Spichler as well. It's almost unfair that he took 7th in the end after that, because he's done better than that before. But it was by far his best ride in the NTC, right up there fighting for the win until really the latter half of the final lap.
It's one of the most brutal things about motorcycle racing, isn't it? You can have the best race, finish less than a second off the win, but he's down in 7th place. We see it so often in the Moto 3 categories at Junior World Championship, Moto 3 World Championship,
as well.
Red Bull Rookie Cup level.
Yep.
So unfortunately for the guys, they're going to have to possibly get used to finishing so close to the victory and not being on the podium, or not even being on the top 5. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. I'm sure for Kit Spichler, he's going to win a race or two in the future.
Yeah, so it was definitely a very good ride from him. And like we said, I don't think anything happened from the track limits warning for Stepan Suda either. I think he obviously obeyed that and managed to stay a little bit further inside the green, and he did take that 8th place. So really impressive stuff from him. Like we said, I think it was 24th, wasn't it? I know it was penultimate. I think it was 24 of 25. So really great ride from him. Kotzarek, another slightly more difficult day in the dry here at the Sachsenring. Varga rounding out the top 10 ahead of Valentino Herrlich, who just in the end beat Vince by just under a couple of tenths. And for Mara as well, some points for him after that heartbreak yesterday and the overall heartbreak of having to start from the back.
Yeah, good stuff from Famara to finish inside the points from the back of the grid. A tough weekend for Famara, but yeah, he proved he can come through the pack, finishing the points and a job well done. And it's great to see these guys celebrating in Parc Fermé. Rossi Moore, enjoy it. I'm sure there's more to come in the near future. Yeah,
most definitely. He is used to winning. He's been quite a dominant force in the American mini bikes. And I think then when he will have been so quick in testing, he thought, oh, this is great. And then, yeah, just that difficult start to his campaign in Le Mans. But finally then, he is on the top step. There you can see then winner. Final results, Rossi Moore, the Farium Next Generation Riders team, takes number 1. Here we go. We'll go for the championship then. We know it's Koretsky on top. As you can see, it's 140 points. Luciano then, for reference, is 98 points at the moment for the Belgian. So 42 points in hand now for the Czech rider. Well earned, you have to say. Very, very well earned. I think he's not finished lower than second, has he? So he's got 4 wins, 2 second places. Really incredible job. Rossi Moore, like I said a little bit earlier, now in third with 68 points, just bumping Kotzarek down to 4th. So that's been a very good day's work for the Hungarian, not only taking the victory, but also making that leap up into the top 3. I'm glad he has, because I keep giving him a big shout out in the preview after his really incredible pace in pre-season, and I know it's coming, but it's not come together yet, and I'm sure he must have felt the same, and it has finally come together so well today.
Platz Nummer 1, third place for Romania, horse racing team Jacopo Hosuk.
So Jacopo Hosuk then making his way on the podium. It's funny the difference in colour between the bike and his leathers. It's like all white bike and then quite a badass black combo of leathers. Gorecki then second place on the podium for him today. But your winner for the first time in the NTC, Rossi Moore. And we will therefore get to enjoy the Hungarian national anthem today, so that'll be something a little bit different.
Yeah, we don't hear that too many times, do we, in motorcycle racing? So
great stuff from him to get that back ringing out across the Sachsenring. So we've had third place then to Hosuk, the second place trophy for Gorecki, and then now the winner's trophy for Rossi Moore. Still buzzing.
Rossi on the top step.
And now we'll get the Hungarian national anthem. Hungarian national anthem then for Rossi Moore on the top step for the first time. And looked like he enjoyed hearing that, which I'm sure he did. Good little pose there with the thumbs up.
Can't be a good thumbs up pose after a race win.
Really can't. Love those little branded towels as well. Be trying to get me one of them.
I'm sure we can sneak a few, can't we?
So then I think we're going to see then the standings. Yeah, so the final results then, Rossi Moore, half a tenth back to Jakub Gorecki as his winning streak comes to an end. Jacopo Hosuk back on the podium. Farkas, great ride from him. Luciano in the top 5 once again. Beekmans and Kit Bichler stand out movers and shakers this weekend. And Stefan Zuda in 8th place, just 8 seconds back after starting so far further back. And then you had Kotzerek in 9th, and then Tibor Varga rounding out the top 10 before that duel between Herrlich and Vincher after number 12 made a great start but then just couldn't quite keep that pace throughout the race. And like we gave a shout out to, Lennox Vermara there in 13th, great ride from him for a couple of points right from the back of the grid, and he is a rookie as well. And then Veneman and Bussenkool rounding out the point scorers today. So, like we said, in the standings, it's 42 points now that Gorecki has in hand at the top after that second place, with Luciano rounding out the top 5, and more there you can see he moves from 6th to 3rd, 72 points back, but there's a long way to go in the season. Kotzerek loses out 1 place there, Beekman staying in 5th but adding a good few more points, and Hosuk 6th overall now. And Farkas as well, you can see, made some good gains there with that solid ride today, and Suda too. So some good rewards there for some solid and impressive rides. Here we go. So down to the last there of the point scorers. They've all been shuffled backwards after, who was it that gained quite a lot there? Not sure, but one rider there. They were all very close together at the bottom, and one rider there has really shuffled them back. Here we go then, highlights. Gorecki, once again, really solid launch from pole. The Czech rider always gets the job done. But this time round, we did see, there you can see, Martin Vinch, that number 12. Amazing start from him to get up there immediately. Bit of a heartbreaker. I think that's the Willemsen incident. But then Luciano was in the lead for a while. Kit Bichler dies for the lead, but Gorecki always tried to make his way back through there, as did the number 92 of Rossi Moore. As you can see, there he comes through, the yellow bike about to appear. Few wide moments around there from a few different riders, but nothing too dramatic in the end.
Yeah, a group of 7 formed at the front of the race. Here they are into turn 1. We saw plenty of overtaking movements. I think it was pretty much every lap we saw a move into turn 1. But yeah, all nice and clean from the riders in front. But at the end of the race, it was the number 92 and number 59, Gorecki and Moore, who battled it out for the win.
It was. So it was a really smooth move there from Gorecki to take back the lead, but just Rossi Moore was not going to give it up. Blasts his way back through up the inside, trying to get it stopped as they come round the final corner, and he does. Nicely stood up, gassed it to the line, and his first Northern Talent Cup win just ahead of Gorecki. So great stuff from the Hungarian, finally on the top step after the incredible promise we've seen from him this season. Can he keep it going next time out?